Good evening and welcome to Perry High School for the second match of our CVC All-Star doubleheader. I'm Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director, and joining me in the broadcast is Haley Adams. Haley, we opened up our All-Star doubleheader with a fun, exciting match. The Lake Division beat the Chagrin Division 3-0. It was competitive. The girls came out. They were a little bit rusty, as we thought they would be after most of the girls haven't played in a few weeks.
Right.
But they picked it up by the middle of that second set. We saw some exciting volleyball, and I think our nightcap is going to be a doozy.
Absolutely, yeah. Just looking at these two teams warming up, we have the Metro Division and the Valley Division warming up here to start our second match of the evening.
Yeah, I think the quality of play in this match is going to be just a little bit higher. We talked in that first match that, you know, if you look at the pecking order in the CVC, the four divisions, you've got the Metro Division with Independence that is played in 5 straight Final Fours, 4 straight state runner-up finishes. Kirtland, Berkshire, Cardinal all have won district titles recently on the Valley Division. So you know you've got a lot of talent on the court, and now it's just going to see who is the least rusty, who's going to come out and create a little bit of momentum early and run with it.
Both teams having such high IQ, too, of the game. As you mentioned, players from the Valley Division and just, you know, the height and the power behind the Metro Division. I'm excited to see this second matchup begin here in just a few seconds.
We had a couple players I was really excited to see compete against some others on the other side of the net. Unfortunately, they got drawn away by the All-Ohio All-Star match. So we had Callie Procopius and Abby Avila from Independence, and then Sammy DeBeese from Perry. All three of them were invited to play in the All-Ohio match. So we lost out on seeing that talent. But, you know,
what an honor.
Right. And then on the Valley Division side, you've got Natalie Glow from Kirtland, who's a big-time hitter. On the other side, we've got Gracie Tolliver from Independence, who can bring it. Lutheran West has a few girls that can bring it. So tonight it's going to be fun. It's going to see who can create the best situations and then run with it.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see, too, especially, too, because I do a lot of work with the Valley Division, just seeing teammates, especially the three, Cardinal, Burton, and Kirtland, come together.
Right, those 3 bitter rivals in the Valley Division. Tonight they have to be teammates and work toward a common goal, so we'll see how that shakes out. You know, when you get into an all-star setting, that's the hardest part, is you're playing with a bunch of girls you haven't played with, you aren't practicing, you're not gelling together, you're not doing those things. You just get thrown together, and then they tell you, do the best you can.
Yeah, and even looking at the Metro side, you have a couple teammates from Independence, but Trinity, and I was able to travel out to Trinity last season when it was Trinity that took a set away from Independence, and you're going to know that statistic better than I did, but the first time Independence has dropped a set in how many years, Steve?
It was 3 years at that point, and they've won 116 straight Chagrin Valley Conference matches, so you know they've been bringing it for several years. So for Trinity to do what they did last year in that first go-around, that was an impressive accomplishment. So as we're getting ready for our introductions here, we got a couple more minutes of warm-ups. I want to give a shout-out to our crew. As I said, I'm Steve Hare, the CVC Sports Information Director. Haley Adams is providing the color commentary and expert analysis. We've got Peter Tellup running the show, producing our broadcast here on CVC TV. Mike Allen, Jason Young, and Jacob Tellup are running our cameras and making sure our well-oiled machine goes off. Because in an all-star game situation, you always have different situations that pop up.
Yes.
So, you know, aside from maybe a player not showing up or whatever, tonight we had an interesting one. And, you know, our coach at Lutheran West is new to Ohio. She still has her Arizona phone number. Well, when she plugged in Perry High School into her GPS, she ended up at Massillon Perry.
Yep.
So we've got Berkshire assistant coach Ann Mann stepping in to coach the Metro All-Stars. So you just never know what's going to happen in an All-Star game setting.
You don't. And on the other side, we do have our Valley Division coach here from Kirtland High School, Arlena Newcomer. A little bit more familiar with the area, Steve, so.
Yeah, she's been here now. She played college ball, and so she's been out of the area for a while, but she does know her way around, and she made it to Perry okay. So we've got one coach, and then we've got a fill-in coach coaching the Metro Division All-Stars. So we are going to step away for a moment and let you listen in to our introductions of our all-star players here at the Chagrin Valley Conference. This is the Valley Division versus the Metro Division. Got a couple team photos taking place, and then we'll get into our action right away. So we'll stick with you until they get into the introduction part. But that is Paul DeSico handling our photo duties tonight, taking care of the Valley Division All-Stars. As we mentioned, that's Arlena Newcomer, who has guided Kirtland to back-to-back district titles. They made it to the regional semifinals in two straight seasons. Last year, they lost to Independence in a regional semifinal. This year, they dropped a match to Orville in the regional semis. And now we've got our Metro Division All-Stars headed over for their team photo. Good-looking crew there. I see those athletes, and I've seen many of them play so much. And you look at Zakiyah Baker from Cuyahoga Heights. She's coming out as a volleyball all-star. In the spring, if we run a softball all-star game, I expect to see her there too, because she's an outstanding softball player for Cuyahoga Heights. Helped lead them to the state championship game last spring. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short, settled as state runners-up.
Yeah, and another softball player, too, as I'm looking at future plans, is Michaela Burquist from Crestwood, looking to study criminal justice in college.
Yeah, Michaela, great pitcher. She's going to do well for the Red Devils this year. I think with her back in the circle, she's probably going to position them as one of the favorites to win the Valley Division in softball this year.
Darn it. Darn it, I got to play against her twice or coach against her twice. But
yeah, Haley is now the Cardinal head coach. She started her first season last year. So, yeah, she'll get to try and game plan around Michaela Burquist's wicked pitching.
So many talented athletes, and my favorite part about it, Steve, is they're not just one-dimensional. There's quite a few of them here that play 3, even 4 sports. And I was always such a big supporter of that, as I was a 3-sport athlete myself in high school, so I love seeing it.
Absolutely. The Chagrin Valley Conference, we've got 22 schools that span 5 counties. Most of those 22 schools are smaller schools, so they're, I think Lakeside's a Division I in some sports. Geneva's a Division I in some sports, but mostly it's Division II, Division III, Division IV. So, you're talking about a lot of small schools. These kids have to play multiple sports just to field a team, and it really works out to their benefit because they become outstanding athletes all around.
Yes,
and it helps their individual teams in each season. So that multi-sport athlete is it's a great thing to have in our conference, and we have some really good ones. So it's fun to see. Tonight we're going to get to see a bunch of them, and we'll talk about a lot of these girls throughout the match. Some focus on volleyball. They'll play JO during the off season. Some turn the page, like Haley Doman down there. She turns the page, and she's already won a basketball game on Saturday.
And Lindsay Hiss. I know we talked a little bit about her taking a couple years off, but, yeah, how exciting.
Yeah, so, Cardinals got a couple basketball players out there, and then they also play a spring sport. So, okay, we're going to tune out for a moment, let you listen in to our All-Star Game introductions.
Number 10 is a senior libero and setter from Brooklyn, Aubrey Kaminsky. And stepping into coaching night for the Metro Division All-Stars is Anna. And now for the Valley Division All-Stars. The number 3 is a senior right-side hitter and defensive specialist from Wycliffe, Illinois, Nevada. Number 5 is a center from Cardinal, Haley Bowman. Number 8 is a senior outside hitter and middle blocker from Grand Valley, Courtney Bennett. Number 9 is a senior outside hitter and right side hitter from Cardinal, Lindsay Dislow. Number 12 is a senior defensive specialist and outside hitter from Berkshire, Andrew Ramona. Number 17 is a junior libero defensive specialist from Kirtland, Ava Bowen. Number 18 is a sophomore right side hitter and outside hitter from Berkshire, Maddie Santana. Number 19 is a senior middle blocker and right side hitter from Kirtland, Sloan DeJohn. Number 21 is a senior libero defensive specialist from Cardinal, Gabby Nemeth. Number 25 is a junior outside hitter and defensive specialist from Kirtland, Natalie Bowen. Number 36 is a senior middle blocker and defensive specialist from Crestwood, Michaela Burquist. The Valley Division All-Stars are coached by Kirtland's Arlen Newman. Tonight's officials are Fred Gage, John Kesley, and the line judges are Mike Rogan and Sharon Andre. We ask that all players respect the effort of our players, coaches, and officials have put forth in preparing for today's contest. We ask all attending to show courtesy and respect to fellow fans, officials, coaches, those administrating the contest, and of course their team and their opponent. And as important today as ever, please respect the game. And now we will all try to join us in the national anthem.
All right, Haley, all that's left is that first serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Waiting to see who will be rewarded with that, whether it be the Valley Division or the Metro Division.
So I know you know a lot about most of the players on the court. I think you've seen probably most of them play over the course of the last couple of years in your coverage of volleyball for the CVC. If you had to pick, who do you think is going to pull this one out?
I think Metro. I'm thinking Metro, just with the heavy hitters from Independence and Trinity and Amy McCarthy. I think it might be a challenge for the Valley Division, but nothing that they can't overcome.
Here's what I think. I think we talked in the first match. You know, the girls are going to come out a little rusty.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't played in a while. Independence and Kirtland, they played
a little bit longer.
Yeah, a week to 10 days ago. So they've had a little bit of action. Some of these girls are out in their JO seasons now. But,
right.
But as we've mentioned, some of them are already, they've turned the page. They're playing basketball now or swimming or whatever else they're doing in the winter. So it's really going to come down to who can get an offense flowing the fastest.
Right.
And when I look over at the Valley Division, I see Natalie Glow, I see Maddie Smetana, I see Ava Golem, who's an outstanding defensive specialist, libero, Stella DeJohn in the middle. And I look over Macy McNamara on the Metro Division, outstanding libero. She's going to clean up a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And if they can get Gracie Tolliver going in the middle and Amy McCarthy going, Ellie Bell from Lutheran West, Ariana Esposito, I think it's going to be a really good match. But if things go the way I think they're going to go, I think I'm going to take the Valley Division.
Okay.
I'll bet you a Snickers.
No peanut M&Ms?
Well, I've got those in my pocket, so I already have my peanut M&Ms, so the Snickers is like dessert.
Too funny. I am assuming now the Valley Division won the coin toss, and this will be Haley Doman back to serve for the team.
Haley Doman, senior year already.
That's crazy.
I mean, you know, and it seems like she's been at Cardinal for so long.
Yes.
Only because she's a starter on 3 different teams in 3 different seasons for 12 total seasons.
Right.
So that girl has a whole lot of experience under her belt.
Yes, and a great kill out of the outside is number 9, Lindsay Hissa.
Lindsay Hissa's fun to watch, and
Yes.
she's a lefty, so when she comes around from that side, it's almost a given that ball's going down.
Being a little bit more familiar here with Cardinal, I definitely think somebody just watching her throughout the years, I think Lindsay Hissa could possibly be one of the most improved.
Absolutely. Going from sophomore year to junior year, she had a great year last year, and then this year she was just on fire. And I got to watch her through the Vipers Volleyball Club, and the growth that she demonstrated there. I knew she was going to have a strong senior season.
Out of the middle is a kill there by Lutheran West, Aaron Esposito.
We were talking about Hissa. She had 200 kills this year as a senior, so outstanding season for her, being named first team all-conference.
Yeah, and Lindsay Hissa holds a special place in my heart, as well as she was earned, I should say, captain on Cardinal Silk's flag line this year. So her and Gabby Nemeth hold a special place in my heart.
They're your girls, I know it. It's Aubrey Kaminsky on the serve for the Metro Division. She's out of Brooklyn. She also had a dig on that point. She gives the Metro Division a 2-1 lead.
Maddie Smetana holds that one there, gets that pass up. Just a sophomore, Steve, and we see a huge block in the front row by her and assisted by Stella DeJohn, but Maddie Smetana has a bright future ahead of her.
Absolutely, only a sophomore, comes from a very athletic family.
Yes.
Her dad, a minor league baseball player, had a really nice career out at Kent State and also at Cardinal High School as well. Now he's a Berkshire family.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
Good strong serve. I think that's Hyvik on the serve.
Yeah, and that was Spellich on the set, and Esposito puts it down, but just a bit wide.
Coming in.
Oh, no, it did go in. They did call it in, so okay.
Coming in for the Metro is Zakiyah Baker.
Outstanding softball player. It was fun to watch her in the postseason. Oh, Glow with a nice diving dig.
Golem will try to provide a down ball, and her coach just shaking her head.
That was one of those rust plays right there. It's just, okay, I haven't played in a while. I'm going to swing at this ball.
Give me a break, coach.
Oops.
Good 3-ball pass by Glow, and Doman will set her up, and that'll go long.
McNamara on the serve, nice lefty, and as you said, Glow's kill attempt went a little bit long. Like I said, if they can get Glow going, if they can get Smetana going, the Valley Division is in good shape tonight.
Smetana will provide a swing, and that'll be Doman that returns a favor with the dig, and Golem will set up Smetana. A kill for Smetana out of the right side.
I like it. We got a lot of lefties here tonight.
Yeah, very unusual, though. Very unusual.
Yes, Smetana, Hissa, and then on the other side you got McNamara. Stella DeJohn might be a lefty, too, now that I think about it.
Yes. I was watching her warm up.
Yep,
there she is. Good, strong serve, and that's Tolliver. But it's Burquist who gets the block. Obviously, Crestwood a little late to the party for the CVC. Just their maybe second or third year. Burquist talks about beating Garrettsville, which is a huge, huge rival for Crestwood, but she recalls that that's her favorite volleyball memory.
Great play there. Free ball from Doman. Kaminsky fields it. And there's Tolliver, but a great block by Burquist.
Good dig by Doman. And something I think that we didn't really mention, Steve, during the preview, Metro might have the big-time hitters and the big blockers up front, but I really think that this Valley Division has a lot of smart volleyball IQ. Looking at Doman, looking at Natalie Glow and Maddie Smetana in the front row.
Tolliver with a nice tip to the outside. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's where I think when I was looking at the matchups,
right,
I had to put the Valley and the Metro together just because the level of play in those two divisions is so much higher, and it was just a better fit. And I think we're going to see that. You know, the first match, it was 11-11 in that first set until Maddie Tharp went off at the service line. But I think we're going to see this one go back and forth. Oh, there we go. A nice little two-handed tip from Natalie Glow there. Put that one down.
Natalie Glow, you have written just a soft or junior? Junior, okay. This year, this fall, earned first team all CVC and second team all district, but again, she's another one of those players that I think can be classified as most improved. Just watching her, I think she really came around last season as a sophomore, really started to write her name, but doing a good job and really bringing Kirtland, up in the Valley Division, because for so long it was Cardinal and Burton that provided success after success. But
right, yeah, Kirtland definitely, that program turned around when Golem and Glow were freshmen. Stella DeJean was a sophomore, and now you add Georgia DeJean into that mix, and Kirtland is in good shape for another couple years, and the program's growing. More girls in Kirtland are being inspired and want to play volleyball.
Sophia Gaelick's short on that serve. And I think she's going to go ahead and run the setter position now.
Smetana to serve for the Valley Division here, 8-8 in this first set.
Great serve. And that's an ace for Smetana. Unfortunately, Tolliver unable to handle that first pass, but great serve by Smetana.
Smetana had 30 aces this year, on her way to earning first team all CVC along with 251 kills. So outstanding sophomore season for her. She's a two-time all CVC performer. As you said, she's got a bright future.
Savannah David back to serve now for the Metro. And Doman will set up Burquist, who gets a tip right over the top of, I think that's Amy McCarthy from Trinity.
You're right. And you were just talking about that volleyball IQ, and Michaela Burquist went up, and she saw where the block was.
How
and
big
said,
the block was.
Okay, I'm just going to tip this over you.
Absolutely, and Hissel will come back in now for the Valley Division. Good strong serve by Glow, and she gets an ace.
Natalie Glow needed that serve when they played Independence in the first match of the year this year. Baker can't handle that one, but David with a nice recovery.
Good
and
job.
Then Baker gets the free ball over. There's Hissa with that left-handed swing I like so much, but Baker on the block.
Baker, and I believe that's number 16, Michaela Spellich, to help with that assist block.
Ellie Bell now comes in for the Metro Division, takes the place of Macy McNamara.
Angie Romano from Berkshire handles that first pass. McCarthy with a down ball.
It's like a knuckleball off of McCarthy's fist. Great block.
And that's in. That just fell in.
Ellie Bell with a little bit of luck on her side gets the block, and it went deep. It started heading for that out-of-bounds line, but I think the wind got it and knocked it down.
Spellich and Bell, both teammates from Lutheran West. And Steve, I'm not, as familiar with the Metro, but back in 2016, Lutheran West and Cuyahoga Heights both were, strong programs that we played against. So it's no surprise to me that I see a couple here representing Lutheran West and Cuyahoga Heights.
Right, yeah, it's a solid program, and The unfortunate part about it is their head coach, Laura Thrasavulu, who was named the Metro Division Coach of the Year. Unfortunately, she was supposed to coach the team, and being newer to Ohio, ended up at Massillon Perry. So, Coach, we're sorry you made that wrong turn, but wish you were here. But you've got your program headed in the right direction.
Yes. And that's an ace for Golem.
Found that corner. David tried a diving attempt to get there, but it was just well placed by Ava Golem.
Can we go ahead and talk a little bit about Golem here, Steve? A libero earning CVC MVP. Something that you don't see a lot of,
It's crazy. Yeah, it's usually the big hitters. But, yeah,
great serve.
She was a solid core, a foundation of Kirtland's success the past 3 seasons. Definitely the past 2 as they won the district titles.
Mm-hmm. McCarthy with a down ball, but that's Angie Romano who handles that cleanly in a tight set, but Hissa does all she can, and it'll result in a kill.
You mentioned the tight set, but that's something that Haley Doman has done for 4 years. She's put balls into tight windows, and I believe she had, isn't she in the 1,000 club? 1,000 sets, 1,000 assists?
Yes, yes.
Wait, it was
1,000 digs
yep.
and 2,000 assists, which actually just broke the record. She went ahead and broke 2017 graduate from Cardinal, Madison Bean. But Haley Doman now holds a record with 2,492 assists.
It's ridiculous. That is a lot of assists. Yeah, she's been around the block with the Cardinal volleyball program.
Romano handles it, and that'll be Doman to DeJohn.
There's that left-handed showing. She's so dangerous in the middle at times, and you give her that set and no block to speak of, and she's going to find a hole.
Yeah, a hitter like DeJohn is able to really do a lot with no blocker up there.
Nice dig by David to get that ball in the air. And there's McCarthy. Oh, it's in. Was that a fingertip?
I don't know. Not exactly sure. Looked maybe a hair out from up here, but again, we're not the line judge for a reason.
When you say it was a hair out, you meant like me if I was laying down the line.
Right, absolutely.
Because that ball looked to be a foot or 2 out of bounds. But that's what I was saying. I was wondering if there was a fingertip on it, but the line judge actually called it in.
Yeah.
So 15-14 here in the first set. Valley Division and the Metro Division clashing here for Chagrin Valley Conference supremacy.
Serving here for the Metro is senior libero Aubrey Kaminsky from Brooklyn.
Nemeth digs that one up to Doman, and there's Hissa.
Great kill by Hissa, and just goes off the forearms of McNamara. I'll get it, Steve.
Just call her Macy.
Macy, there we go.
Macy Mack.
And Steve, looking at Independence's success, 2 things that stand out to me is that libero position. And just a few years ago, it was Maddie Belinovic that, held her own. And now I love watching her on Big Ten Network for my Nittany Lions at Penn State. But again, just providing so much success. Coach Messina is at Independence.
It's unreal what they've been able to accomplish. And at the same time, you feel bad that they've gone to the state championship match 4 years in a row and they weren't able to, pull the trigger and get that state title win. And then you look at the players like Abby Avila, Hannah Wilson, and Callie Procopius, Macy McNamara, who closed out their career with 4 straight, state runner-up finishes. That's tough, that Buffalo Bills vibe. But at the same time, it's remarkable.
What an honor.
It is.
What an honor. And serving that out of bounds was Lutheran West's Ellie Bell as she goes to the bench.
You were talking about your Nittany Lions. Well, in the state championship game, Independence lost to Liberty Benton for the second time. They lost to Liberty Benton in 2019 in a 5-set match. This year it was a 3-set match. Well, Karis Willow from Liberty Benton was just a dominant force. She's a 6'3" monster, and she's headed to Penn State in 2 years. So
that'll be exciting. It'll be a good future for my Nittany Lions as they're not struggling, but a team like Independence that has that dynasty. Just the last couple of years, early exits in the NCAA tournament. But again, I love seeing local athletes play big name schools or go to bigger and better.
Well, I'm just rooting for Penn State to get to the Final Four because it's in Columbus this year.
That'll be exciting.
So, yeah, it'd be nice to see a whole bunch of support for the local kids that are down there. I know there are a couple that have an opportunity this year that, played in Ohio or Northeast Ohio that could end up in the Final Four.
Well, even talking to Steve, looking a little bit broader, like Gilmore and even NDCL, I had an honor of covering them a couple of times, and there's, two big names that are going to Northwestern and Nebraska, and it just blows my mind that, like I said, you have these small schools that are able to provide so much success at big-time colleges like that.
Right. And it's also, it just speaks volumes about the growth of volleyball in Northeast Ohio. When you're starting to get, we've had the Hirams, we've had the Notre Dame colleges, we've had the Lake Erie colleges. Well, now we're starting to get the Bowling Greens, the Toledos, and, we're starting to get trickle into the Power Five. So
absolutely.
It's a good sign for high school volleyball in Northeast Ohio because the talent pool is just getting so much larger.
Back to serve is Angie Romano.
Kaminsky on the dig.
Tolliver with the kill.
She had
a roll shot.
Yeah, she had the one she hit into the net earlier. She needed to redeem herself, and she did. 21-17 now. Starting to see a little bit of separation here in this first set. Like I said, that first match, we saw the girls, it took them a little bit to kind of shake off the rust.
And that's an ace for Savannah David.
21-18 now. Metro cuts into that Valley Division lead. Savannah David looking to go on a service run. I don't know that we'll see one like we saw in that first match with Maddie Tharp going 14 straight.
Another ace, a great effort by Doman.
You see Doman do that in every sport. Oh, that was a nice kill.
That's a good kill by McCarthy.
Haley Doman, whether it's volleyball, basketball, or softball, is burning her knees every day.
Yeah, and she had a big performance Friday night as her team got a win over Wyndham. I think it was, 20-point performance she had, 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 steals or something. So just all around able to do it all for her team.
Well, it's kind of funny because when my daughter was younger, she played basketball, and we were in a youth game playing against, I can't remember, was it Bristol or?
Okay.
I can't remember where did Haley go, elementary school? What?
St. Helens? Might have been St. Helens.
Yeah, it might have been St. Helens. So whatever her youth team she played was playing my daughter's. And I'm watching this girl run around, and I'm like, wow. And then I saw her mom, who at the time was an assistant coach at Cardinal.
Yeah, because she coached me,
Right, and so I put 2 and 2 together, and I said, oh, that girl's going to be good. And so here she is, she's got, 12 varsity letters already, 13 counting volleyball this year. She'll get
great serve by Glow.
Yeah, she'll get another one in basketball and then softball. So that's just a phenomenal career for her.
Looking to earn her 1,000th point, too, in basketball, but then looking to break the pole vaulting record as well as she's a track athlete during the spring.
I forgot about that
Yeah,
part.
She's got a lot of records that she's ready to break here at Cardinal.
She is not the biggest athlete, but I'll tell you what, I'll take a Haley Doman on my team every day of the week. It's just everything about her, just her effort, her attitude, her will to win.
I have to laugh as I babysat her and Troy, her younger brother, growing up. So just seeing the growth and the maturity, it blows my mind because I still look at them and think, they're the 5 and 3-year-old that I used to babysit, but
Crazy,
that's not the
case.
It?
Oh,
Great
there's Burquist
to
finish it off. The Valley Division is going to win this first set, 25-19. That was a nice volley right there, and then Burquist with that power kill. Was it McCarthy? It was one of the Trinity girls got a hand on it, but yeah, there was no digging that ball. But 25-19 is the result of our first set. The Valley Division takes a 1-0 lead. A little bit of a redemption for the Kirtland girls, getting a little win over Independence since they beat them
Some bragging rights, right?
Right. They beat them in the regional semis last year and then beat them in the season opener this year. They were hoping to get a rematch in the regional final, but Orville had something to say about that and ended Kirtland's season there. Not the best match I've seen Kirtland play, but I know that Arlena's going to teach the kids a little bit something about what went wrong.
Just their second loss, Steve?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they lost their season opener at Independence.
Yeah.
And then they won 26 straight, I believe.
think something like that, yeah. Sometimes, though, too, I think as newcomer can speak, you almost would take a couple losses in between, the season to over and, go a little bit deeper in the tournament. But still nothing Kirtland can hang their heads about is newcomer has really brought this program alive.
Absolutely. You see it in many ways. You see it in the technical aspect. They're very fundamental. They're doing things the right way. But then you also see the confidence. And I don't want to say a swagger. That gives the wrong impression.
Right.
But Arlena has this confident vibe. And I think her girls are feeding off of that.
100%.
And they're learning that, you know what, we are pretty good.
And we can compete, against teams like Independence, and we can compete against, some of these bigger name schools. Absolutely.
Yep, so they just have that will to win now, and it's trickling down to everybody in the program. And that's good for the Valley Division. It's good for the Chagrin Valley Conference as a whole to have those teams, whether it's girls soccer with Kirtland and Chagrin Falls winning state titles in back-to-back years, girls basketball with Perry getting to the regionals, other teams making their move, boys basketball, Richmond Heights getting to 2 Final Fours in the last 3 seasons, and one of them was cut short by COVID, so maybe 3 Final Fours. But it's good for the league. It brings some notoriety, but it also tells these other kids that, hey, I know those kids. They're just like me. I can do it too.
Yeah, and you talked too a little bit, Steve, looking at spring sports, looking at Cuyahoga Heights for softball, and even Chagrin Falls for baseball. I know they're a powerhouse team, but yeah, just able to provide so much success. And like you mentioned too, I know Crestwood is another big-time school for softball. Wycliffe, I know they had a great season. Yeah, the CVC Valley can be a little bit tough, especially for my Huskies. As I'm trying to rebuild that program, but it's a tough conference to play in.
It is, and it goes back to what we said earlier. It's all the kids, they're multi-sport athletes. Michaela Burquist, we were talking about her pitching prowess. Well, here she is in the CVC Volleyball All-Star game.
Great dig by Doman.
Wow. And there's McCarthy.
He finishes it off, and I'm sure Haley and I think Amy played together in their JO season.
Oh, fun.
So a little bit of that, like you mentioned earlier, that rivalry.
That's great. Yeah, Haley with the great dig, and Amy's like, I'll see your dig. Boom. Hyvik over to, who's that from Trinity? I got to put my glasses back on.
Was it David? No.
Gaelic, yeah.
Again, the blue and the white is throwing me off.
Especially Brooklyn and Independence. Those uniforms are so similar.
Yes.
And we talked about it in the first match. We have some duplicate numbers because we had the girls wear their team uniforms rather than a generic all-star T-shirt. Wanted them to come out and represent their schools.
Hissa back to serve. Top spin, but that's Gaelic that handles it.
McCarthy saw that block, the Kirtland duo, and she said, ooh, I better pull that off. And we talked
Smart
about that.
IQ.
Right, we were talking about that volleyball IQ earlier, and we're seeing it in action. This is the 2021 Chagrin Valley Conference All-Star Volleyball Extravaganza here. We saw the Lake Division defeat the Chagrin Division 3-0 in the opener today. This is our nightcap.
Good tip there. Again, Cuyahoga Heights' own Baker out of the middle.
So this is our nightcap, the Valley Division versus the Metro Division. The Valley Division won the first set. Metro.
Golem there with that first pass, and it's Glow that'll provide the attack. Doman pushes it out to Glow, and Glow will get it through the block between Baker and Gaelic in the front row.
Yeah, they had the block up there, and Glow just placed that really well.
Glow doing a good job of really powering through the block, and a lot of times that happens when your block's not sealing over top of the net.
Burquist in for DeJohn. Golem to serve. McNamara, that's not a play she
normally makes, right?
She normally makes it. It's an error she doesn't normally make. And, again, we talked about that rust. It's been a couple of weeks since these girls have been on the court.
Now, is she playing somewhere else, Steve, collegiately, or no?
Robert Morris. She's
Yep.
committed. Now, Robert Morris did have a coaching change, so there's a little some question as to whether they'll honor the scholarship offers.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that's the case. It'd be a really bad move for any college to have a girl commit and then pull the scholarship because you had a coaching change. That is definitely not how you run a college program.
Doman will go back to Liliana Covetta with the swing.
Boy, isn't it true? The line judge gets hit by the ball and gives us the delayed signal. I thought if you hit the line judge, it's in. They should call it that way.
Right, come on.
Hit the wicket.
Earning the point, though, is Covetta, so she'll go back to the line to serve.
Never know what you're going to see in an all-star match.
Powering through the block is Gaelic, and through the block there, that's Glow and Burquist.
Gaelic representing the Trojans. Kill for her, and now she gets the serve. Why does that always happen?
Good, strong float serve, and it's Golem to Glow to Hissa with a free ball opportunity here for the Metro Division. Out of the middle, and that's Bell that's long.
Just a little bit long. She got some air, though. She got up. She can put that ball down.
Another one that's not very tall on paper, but has some height to her.
Gabby Nemeth to serve. Another one of those Vipers Volleyball Club members.
Oh.
Looks like they're calling.
Thought we weren't calling that. I'm not exactly sure who they had in the net.
Yeah, and
maybe Spellich from Lutheran West.
Yeah, he held up a fist. Normally that means like 0, but we don't have a 0 on the court.
Oh, man, I thought we weren't doing that today, Steve. We didn't do it much in the first match.
Nope. Kaminsky on the dig.
To Tolliver.
Gaelic to Tolliver. Nice block by Hyvik.
Doman goes over on 2, but that's Macy Mack there with the dig as I'm struggling with her name today.
Yep. Tolliver with another chance.
Oh, nice kill.
Great. Was that Hyvik that placed that in there?
Yeah.
Nice job, Courtney Hyvik from Grand Valley.
And I was talking earlier, I believe Hyvik will represent the Mustangs during the winter season for basketball as well. So, again, another one of those multi-sport athletes. Strong float serve. Good touch by Burquist.
Burquist has been impressive. You know, I knew about her softball prowess.
Yeah.
And then to see her out here playing volleyball, she gets up and she puts up that block.
And I think, too, a player like Burquist, don't want to necessarily say the shadow, but, you know, for so many years there were Hoffman sisters that came from Crestwood.
Right.
And now, you know, she can kind of hold her own and she can write her own name.
Hyvik with a nice diving dig. Was that Doman that just put that ball back over?
And Doman punches it over again. Good job by Romano to really try. Nice.
Oh, she didn't get it to fall.
That's a nice spot, though, by Doman.
Again, high volleyball IQ. She saw the block where it was, and she got a little bit tricky. Hit it a little bit too long, just went out of bounds. Savannah David back to serve out of Brooklyn.
Doman goes. Burquist goes behind Doman. I'll get it for that kill. Got to give my Hiram Terriers a shout out too, as I was just talking about the Hoffman sisters. Believe the mom played at at Hiram, and then Holly Hoffman had 2 years at
Amy McCarthy.
Great swing by McCarthy.
She just popped the ball
down the line. But Holly Hoffman played a couple years at Tri-C. And then transferred to Hiram and finished out her career at Hiram. So, again, just so much volleyball IQ.
Ellie Bell to serve. Ellie is from Lutheran West. Oh, the Valley Division can't handle that one. Metro Division pulls to within 9-8 now, trying to even up this match. Valley Division won the first set.
Steve, we talked a lot about J.O., that ball long there by Bell on the serve, but I think a lot of teams from the Metro play for AVC and CVC, you know, teams towards the Cleveland area. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, Hissa and Nemeth both playing for the Vipers, a team that you guys put together out of Geauga County to really help during the off season. And as we mentioned before, we've seen improvements. 4 players from Berkshire. I think you had a couple from West G and Cardinal. So we see that growth.
Spellich to serve for Lutheran West for the Metro Division. Covetta with a big swing, but Baker with the block.
Doman with the kill. It's a good block by Baker, and I'm not sure who assisted her on that. Maybe Spellich. Great dig out of the back row by Nemeth, and then Haley Doman finishes it off.
I didn't come in expecting Haley Doman to be swinging the way she is.
No.
Everybody wants to show off in an all-star game. Take advantage.
Spellich will give it to McCarthy.
Ooh,
That's just
McCarthy.
wide. Good court awareness, though, by Hissa.
McCarthy almost put that one in the corner. Well placed, just a little bit outside the line. And now Hissa to serve. David with a nice dig. Over to Baker. Cavetta.
Hissa with a dig, and Doman will spot that corner. We saw that a lot, Steve, during the season, that push to the corner, and she gets Macy Mack there.
Really good court vision from Haley Doman. She sees it well. It's kind of like the basketball court.
Yeah.
She just sees that spacing so well, finds the holes. Spells to Baker with a hammer.
Fortunately, Stella DeJohn goes up with this setter. Good job by, is it Gaelic that's helping set there in the front row? Yeah, Gaelic she jumps with the setter and leaves a no block against Baker.
Cavetta blocked
Great
by
job
Tolliver.
by Cavetta.
DeJohn blocked by Baker. And there's Doman again with the push.
It's a great play,
Kaminsky.
though, by Kaminsky. A free ball opportunity here for the Valley Division. Doman pushes it out to Glow. Doman to Cavetta. Great play by Macy Mack, but just out of the reach.
Baker on the block is impressive.
Yeah,
She just
slowing
seems
a
to
lot
be
of balls down.
She seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, doing a lot against the Valley hitters of really slowing it down. But not only that, but frustrating them, getting into their minds a little bit. Hissa will set up Doman, who sets up Burquist. A good dig, though, by Spellich.
15-10, the Valley on top. Looking to pull ahead 2-0 here in our nightcap of the CVC All-Star Volleyball matches. Golem with a rare service error.
Newcomer laughing. Saying I didn't teach her that one.
Right. 62 aces this year, so you know she hasn't made many mistakes.
Baker back to serve, and Hissa will handle the first pass. Ooh, just wide is Glow. And Steve, I've seen McCarthy do it on the Valley side, or excuse me, the Metro side, and I've seen Glow do it on the Valley side. Both athletes really trying to go line, which is something you don't see a lot in volleyball. A lot of times you see that heavy cross court, nice pancake by Golem, but unfortunately out of the reach of Glow. But both girls really trying to use that line shot, and that's something that you don't see a lot of times at in high school volleyball.
Right. It takes a lot to jump in the air, contort your body the way you need to, see the court, and then swing and change directions. So it's very difficult.
Yeah, I think that kill by Glow was off the block.
Angie Romano in from Berkshire. She will serve. McNamara with the dig. Out to Tolliver. Blocked by Burquist.
Wow, that was a good block by Burquist. I know I thought there was going to be a little bit of a hole between it, but Burquist doing a really good job of setting that block up with Doman.
That was a high-low block. You got the tall girl and the short girl. So whatever it takes.
Spellich will go to Bell, and Golem stands tall, and a great play by Doman to go behind her, but Tolliver knew it. Doman will set up Glow, who gets a kill. A 5-point lead here for the Valley Division.
Now 18-13. The Metro's got to get it going, or we might see another sweep here. But I'll tell you what, the third set of the first match was the best.
Exciting, yes. Ooh, a good block at the net by...
Oh, twice.
Twice, yeah. Glow says not once, but twice, and she gets it on the second chance.
If at first you don't succeed.
Yes. Steve, I'm going to rack your brain here a little bit. Any of our Kirtland girls multi-sport athletes here or not yet?
Of these two, no. They're volleyball players. And that's rare, but it hasn't been the case at Kirtland.
That's why I'm questioning it. And playing against Kirtland for so many years, I felt like I was playing against, the same starting whatever for the 4 years I was there. Right.
When I look at their volleyball team, most of them now are pure volleyball. There's a few, Carmesino plays softball.
Okay.
One Carmesino plays basketball. So there's a couple that still play. But you're starting to see that transition.
That's a good block at the net between Tolliver and Bell. And, again, Doman doing her best to keep that ball alive, and she got her foot on it. But
I was going to say, she had a kick save.
Yeah.
Gaelic with a nice serve. Gave Hissa some trouble.
A little bit of
Free
trouble
ball.
there. Oh, and that's Bell that tries to go over on 2.
Had she timed it better, that would have been a point, but she just missed it.
She just mistimed it. But again, Doman and Burquist having a little bit of a team chemistry going on here. Nemeth back to serve for the Valley Division.
Spelich goes a little bit long for the Metro. Valley Division inches closer to a 2-0 lead here, up 22-14 in the second set.
Good strong float from Nemeth. Tolliver. That's Romano who gets a
What a dig. It was a great hit and a great dig.
Absolutely. And Doman will push it out to Hyvik.
Oh, look at that.
Great dig by Macy Mack.
Well, I think we're finding our groove here, Haley.
Yes.
We're starting
a lot of momentum the Metro team can carry into set 3.
Yep.
Tolliver gets a kill off the net. And Steve, going back to Independence for a second, and I know she's not here. She's playing a different game. Kelly Procopius, libero at one point?
She did. She started last year, and they found out that, hey, we need a little bit of help on the outside.
And that's the year 2 Wilson tore her ACL, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So she switched positions, I don't know, maybe 3rd or 4th match of the year last year, and then just found a home and became a dominant attacker in All-Ohio. Playing in the All-Ohio All-Star game today.
Romano will take the first pass, and Doman will push it out to Hyvik. Great dig down the line is Gaelic from Trinity, but unable to find a teammate there.
23-16 here in the second set. Oh, Burquist threw that one a little bit behind her.
Yeah. Gaelic will go behind
she got
her
the corner.
To Bell, and that's Bell who gets a kill.
I think that one was within an inch of being out. She put that right in the corner. Well-placed ball by Ellie Bell, and guess who's serving? Again, I don't understand. Floater to Romano. Doman to the middle.
To John. That's a great job.
That was well placed. Good communication there. Looked like they made eye contact and said, yeah, give me that
They both knew they wanted that. Yeah, absolutely, that quick set. Yep. Mccarthy, and that's Doman that'll dig her. Golem will go to set up Hyvik. Hyvik just wide.
Yeah, it looks like she mishit that one just a little bit. Again, it comes down to having played, now she's in the basketball season. So now you're dribbling the ball instead of trying to hit it. But timing's off a little bit. We've seen it throughout the day. And a service error is going to end the second set. Same way the first set ended, with the Valley Division pulling out the win. It is now 2-0. The Valley Division is on top. The Metro Division needs to put something together here to extend this match.
You think it's going to be a clean sweep, or do you think the Metro team's going to come out? Because we talked about it. They had good momentum heading into that, or ending that second set.
I don't know what our Valley Division All-Stars are doing, but it looks like they're having some fun.
And who's leading it?
Your
who's
girls.
Leading it? Yeah, come on, Lindsay Hissa.
Well, we're here to have some fun, and they are having their fun. I think they love the video board.
Oh.
I don't know if they realize that that's being streamed worldwide.
I hope they do. Yeah, it'll. And I think too, Steve, we talked a little bit during the Lake versus Chagrin divisions. You try to look into something for mentoring for coaches, and I think that is something that I've learned is, it's not always about the wins and the losses. And obviously, I have Lindsay and Gabby for Flagline, and I have Haley Doman for softball. But tell you what, especially Lindsay Hissa and Gabby, those two girls could just put a smile on my face, heading into a football game when I've had a rough night, and I just needed to laugh. And those two girls, I think that has helped me so much, is just building that relationship with your players and your athletes.
The one thing that when I talk to the successful coaches, one thing is clear. Their athletes respect them, but not in that coach-player relationship.
Yeah.
They respect them because they see the coach is all in. They see the coach putting in the effort to scout, to prepare, to game plan, and that trickles down. When your players believe in the coach, they're going to play harder. They're going to believe in the system. So coaches, there's not a magic pill that you can take to suddenly become a good coach. You have to put in the same effort that you demand out of your players. And when you do that, they see it and they put in the effort, and it trickles down, and you build a culture that way.
Something my parents always told me, and especially my mom, she's never asked me to do something that, she can't do herself. And that's something that I've learned as a coach, if it's running 2 extra laps, I can run those 2 extra laps. I'm not asking my athletes anything that I can't do myself. And like I said, just building those relationships is something that I will take with me until I decide to retire coaching.
And here we go. The third set is underway.
Good block at the net by DeJohn, just being active in the middle.
The Valley Division starts the same way they did the last two, with an early lead.
Gaelic will handle that first pass.
Boom.
And it's McCarthy who gets a kill through the block of DeJohn and Hissa.
McCarthy has been impressive. She had a couple attack errors, but even those were well-hit balls.
Kaminsky back to serve for the Metro Division.
How about that? 312 kills during her senior year, 880 kills in her career. That's pretty impressive.
Great block at the net is Hissa and DeJohn. And Hissa trying to celebrate a little bit early, and on that block is Smetana and DeJohn.
I thought they were going to get another one, but she decided to go cross-court that time.
Doman will go to teammate Hissa.
Yeah, see, now we're starting to see girls settle in and play the way we've seen them play all year.
Golem gets the dig, and a great roll shot by Hissa.
What did they call?
Nanette.
Oh.
I think they got Baker on that as she's kind of chuckling a little bit. Did they not get our memo the first time? I thought we weren't calling those.
Right. Yeah, I think we're starting to see it. The girls are settling in a little bit. They're getting back to their in-season form. Right. We saw a lot of mishits and things like that early in the match. Timing was off, but now they're starting to settle in. And, unfortunately, if it's 3-0, we end our night. But I'm sure they'd like to keep going. I know that first match they wanted to play a few more sets, or at least one more, and they were begging me down there. I felt bad, but we have a schedule to keep.
Yes. And on that last attack error is Natalie Glow from Kirtland, just getting a little bit behind it on the attack. And now back to serve for the Metro Division is Macy Mack, the libero for Independence. Doman will go behind to DeJohn.
Little communication error there from teammates Tolliver and McNamara. One of those issues, again, in a season you don't see that play happen. They communicate a little bit better, but
they know the paths and the seams. And as we talked about before, a couple teammates here not playing their usual position. Tolliver will take the first contact, and that'll be Spellich to Bell.
Yeah, that was one of the issues in that first match. I talked to Amber Baker from West Yaga. She coached the Chagrin All-Stars, and she said, they didn't have a middle. Their middle that was supposed to be here couldn't play. And so, they had some girls out of position doing what they could. But, when you don't understand the role and what you're supposed to do, you're going to make a few more mistakes than you normally would. There's a nice set to Smetana, and she makes them pay.
Good tool off the block there was sophomore Smetana, and she'll substitute in teammate Angie Romano.
So Romano to serve. She had a nice little run in the first set.
Good float serve. Bell will punch it over, and that's Hyvik on the dig.
Boy, my goodness. Natalie Glow.
Great set from Doman.
I was about to sing Ellie Bell's praises, but now I have to change my tune, and wow, Natalie Glow just fired away on that one. Ellie Bell, the way she went up on that, it looked like she was just going to crush the ball, and then she just kind of punched at it. She did it again.
Her timing just seems a little bit off. I think her approach is a little early. And again, that's Glow through the block of Spellich and Bell. Yeah, just a little bit. Her timing is off. I think she's kind of catching the ball as she's coming down, which is resulting in a roll shot or a punch.
Yeah, when I set up the matchups, I had Callie Prokopius and Abby Avila in the game. And at that point, I was like, okay, I think the Metro will probably have the advantage. Take those two All-Ohioans off the court now. And, there's good players replacing them, but they're not at that level.
Yep.
And so I think that's kind of disrupted the flow a little bit on the Metro side. They just don't have the firepower.
Now, Steve, too, I'm going to rack your brain. Avila, did she set the record or break the record or no for assists as a setter? She had 1,000, correct?
School record?
Yeah, school record?
Yeah,
okay,
yes.
that's what I figured. Because she was 3-time starter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she played a lot her freshman year.
But not as a setter?
She did.
Okay.
Katie May was still there. Katie May was a senior. She's now at Mount Union. But she also holds the record for assists in a 5-set match in the state Final Four.
Last season?
Yes. 2 years ago. That was the 5-set loss to Liberty Benton. She had 56 assists.
She's had some big-time hitters, too, and one that I remember is Smotek, Grace.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a big-time hitter from a season ago. And
yep, she's at Notre Dame College now. You look at that Independence program. Right now they have Maddie Bilanovic at Penn State, Grace Smotek at Notre Dame, Katie May at Mount Union, and
was there another Prokopius as well?
Lexi, She was an assistant coach at Cuyahoga Heights this year.
Okay.
And then Independence also has Maura Collins at Dayton.
Okay.
And now you add the two this year. You have, the three this year. Abby Avila's going to Charleston. Macy McNamara's going to Robert Morris. And Hannah Wilson is going to, Duquesne.
Duquesne, yes. That sounds right. Yep.
I can't remember. I always forget if it's Duquesne or DePaul. For whatever, those two schools always confuse me.
It's a roll serve there by Bell, but Nemeth handles it cleanly, and Doman will set up teammate Hissa. And that's Gaelic that finds the defense of the Valley sleeping.
8-7, Valley in the lead. Lutheran West's Ellie Bell here to serve. Tried to tie this set up and push to a fourth set.
Tight set by Doman, but Hissa punches it over, and that'll be a kill. And Steve, looking at the Valley side, there have been, some collegiate athletes that went on to play. One that I can think of, going to go back a little bit, 2015, Caitlin Bean played at Ashland. A little bit of a position switch up, but even your big-time hitters like Delaney Tusick, who is now at, I believe it's Georgia Southern. But, some D1 athletes coming out of your smaller Valley divisions as well.
Right, and that goes back to what we talked about, just the talent pool. It's growing. Northeast Ohio, the high school volleyball is getting so much better. Mm-hmm. And that's not just your Division I schools or your Lake Catholics and Gilmore's.
Yep.
It's trickling down, and the smaller schools are seeing that success too. A little error from McCarthy. We haven't seen that out of her much tonight. Right, she's had a great match so far. Again,
the libero from Kirtland, Ava Golem, Good, strong serve. Meant to do that, off the top of the right. Or top of the tape.
Always planned, always planned. Yeah, we're starting to see a chink in the armor of the Valley division. Couple mistakes that we haven't seen throughout the match, but they still have a lead and a 2-0 set advantage.
Michaela Burquist to serve for the Metro division.
Nice left hand.
That's a good hit.
McNamara gave it an attempt, but that was well-placed ball by Hissa.
Coming back in for the Valley division is number 3, Liliana Covetta from Wycliffe. Good effort there. That's again Golem, and we talked a little bit about a libero winning the MVP. How unusual, but as you talked a little bit about Danzak, right, for Chagrin that one. Just
West Jaga, but for the Chagrin division.
Going all out, and we see that from Danzak and now from Golem. Smart shot by Hissa again. Gaelic will send it over.
And Hissa still gets an arm on it.
Great
and there's
swing.
The kill. Lindsay Hissa, and now she's back to playing basketball after taking a couple years off. That certainly helps the program in a number of ways. She's got a little bit of size to her, something that the Huskies don't have a lot of. And then she also has that attitude, and it's just that's the kind of athlete you want on your team.
Hyvik with the service there, and you talked about a number of ways too, Steve. Unfortunately, the Huskies, just 10 girls, I think Coach DiMattia said in their program. So, fighting numbers is a tough thing.
Right, and that's why, we keep talking about multi-sport athletes. It's just so important. And you talk about, we're talking about Cardinal, and you look at their volleyball program, they have, 9 seniors or 10 seniors?
10 seniors.
And now what that does is next year you're going to have a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
They're going to have a numbers issue at Cardinal, and, it's now you're rebuilding again. And, so there are going to be some years where Cardinal's going to have to dig deep, and, they've had some great runs, some really good teams, and now to get back to that level, it's going to take a little bit of effort to work on the youth program and the middle school program.
That's a good job by Gaelic in the front row. Great swing by Glow down the line, but an even better dig by Spellich. Good job by Covetta.
This is a replay of what we saw in the first match. This exact point, it was the third set. We started to see the long volleys as the girls start to get their legs under them. They get the rhythm back, timing. Covetta into the net, but it's alive. Fourth hit.
That's a good job, though, by DeJohn. Speaking from experience, being a former middle, you want to sometimes use that ball and set it. I don't know if they would have called a double, but we middles never had very good hands, and she does a good job of stepping up and passing that ball.
Set to the middle to Burquist.
They've had a lot of success out of the middle between Burquist and DeJohn.
You're right. And I think that's been a key to this match. You've got Baker in the middle on the other side, but when she's not out there with the block,
they use that advantage.
Right.
Again, this is Covetta back to serve, representing Wycliffe High School.
Gaelic to the outside to Spellich, and she's going to go a little bit long. 15-13. I think they might have that score wrong.
I think so, too. I was watching that.
I just watched it flip up, and it should be 16-12, but we'll run with it.
Good dig by Hyvik down the line, and Golem will set up Covetta that sends a free ball over for Metro.
Into the middle to Bell, and she finds the hole. Hyvik tried to get over there just a little bit too far out of her reach.
And they're not going to fix that score, Steve.
Nope. David and McCarthy back in for the Metro division, who now trails 15-14 or something like that based on our scoreboard operator down there. And I have to say it's my daughter running the scoreboard. So Chelsea Hare, nice job keeping this match close.
Into the net goes Savannah David with the serve, and coming back in will be Huskies duo Lindsay Hissa and Gabby Nemeth.
I'd say a docker pay, but When you live in the Hare household, you tend to volunteer a lot at these events, whether you want to volunteer or not. Ellie Bell with a swing there. Got tied up on the net.
That's Bell that gets a touch on Lindsay Hissa's free ball opportunity. And down the line is McCarthy. And again, I talked about Glow and McCarthy both liking to take that line shot.
They both excel at it. Very, very well done here tonight. They've done it a few times, and it's effective.
Bell back to serve now for the Metro division that's trailing just by 1. Burquist will take the first pass, and Doman will look to set up Hissa, who's into the net, and ties things at 16 here in the third set.
Yeah, that's a swing she wants back. Got on top of it just a little bit too much, right into the middle of the net. 16-16 here in our third set. Valley Division on top, 2-0.
Golem to Doman to Hissa. And that's Ellie Bell with the dig. Gaelic will look to teammate McCarthy, who gets a kill through the block of Burquist and Doman.
McCarthy just swung her arm. It looked like, if you ever watch like a cartoon of a fast pitch pitcher where they wind their arm like 40 times and then throw it, it's kind of what McCarthy looked like. That arm just swung so fast.
Doman will look to set up Burquist, who, again, providing a lot of success out of the middle. Romano will record that dig, and Hissa will get the cross-court shot.
Just made up for that hit error earlier.
Stella DeJohn back in the middle position.
I'm going to throw out a few coach names here that I've seen tonight, and if I miss you, I apologize. I'm trying to look around, but I saw Stephanie Kubik from Lakeside, Jen Gold, obviously Mike Fitzgerald was here, Amber Baker from West Jog, obviously they coached. Got Joni Protz from Berkshire. Who else have I seen out here? Quite a few showing up to support their players. Arlene, a newcomer, obviously, since she's coaching.
Spelich long on the serve will tie things up at 18 in this third set.
You know, there are a couple others that were out of town for the upcoming holiday. Had some other things going on. You had the All-Ohio tournament today. So
you had honeymoons with
Carissa
Chambers long now.
Right.
Doman will set up Smetana on a great effort between David and Spelich, but unable to return that volley.
The intensity's picking up here as we're starting to get to that race to 20. I always like to say whoever gets to 20 has the advantage. You hit that number, it's downhill from there mostly.
That's Gaelic to Spelich
Amy
to
McCarthy.
And Golem was in the right spot at the right time,
and she now has a Spalding tattoo on her arm.
I was going to say, McCarthy, just a little bit too powerful for Golem.
Amy McCarthy, as I said, 880 kills in her career. She was the 2020 team MVP, two-time first-team all-conference performer, and then she was first-team all-NCL before they joined the CVC.
Okay, yep.
So she's a four-time now first-time all-conference performer.
Yep.
Hopes to become a pediatric nurse.
Aww.
And her favorite volleyball memories were the team photo shoots and meals.
Ooh, at the net is Baker and Gaelic who get the block against Hissa. Good effort there by Nemeth to record that dig. 2-point advantage now for the Metro Division that need to win this set in order to extend the match. Spelich will look to go over on 2. Great swing out of the right side is Maddie Smetana. Glow back in, which is a good sign here for the Valley Division in that outside hitter position.
Look at the 3 hitters the Valley Division has at the net right now. That's
a
3 I'd like on my squad.
Yes, I was just going to say, imagine that all in one team.
And they come up with a block there on Tolliver.
Oh, that made me a little bit nervous. Doman will set up
Glow
to tie things up at 21 apiece.
You can't give her that perfect set and not expect her to bury it. Kaminsky gave it her best shot, but
she's laughing as she's standing in the line of fire.
There's only so much you can do.
Up at the net is DeJohn and Glow, and DeJohn will take that swing.
McNamara gets there to get it to Tolliver for the free ball.
No, just out of the reach. Last couple sets, Doman and DeJohn have struggled a little bit.
22-21 now. Macy McNamara, an outstanding server, is now at the line for the Metro Division. Macy had a nice run in the state semifinals this year. She had 49 aces as a senior. Oh, nice job there.
Nice. Oh, that's a great dig by Macy, but DeJohn takes the advantage of the open spot on the court.
That was served up on a tee, and DeJohn wasn't going to waste that opportunity.
I've seen DeJohn too. This game specifically, I wasn't able to come out and see a Kirtland game. I thought last year DeJohn did a lot of playing it safe, tipping a lot, doing a lot of roll shots. But in this game today, Steve, I've seen her be a little bit more aggressive, and she's swinging full through.
It was Smetana on the kill, evening the match up again at 22-22. I'm sorry, the set, not the match. Valley Division with a comfortable 2-0 lead.
A roll shot in. Steve, we had a late addition here. It's now 23-22.
Oh, I missed it.
And that's match point number 1 now for the Valley Division, looking for a clean sweep.
Our second one of the night, it could be. Stella DeJohn going to try and put it away.
Me. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, the big names of Trinity and Independence in the Metro, I didn't know if the Valley stood a chance.
Boom, Natalie Glow with the exclamation point. Valley Division's going to win this one 3-0. That is going to conclude the inaugural Chagrin Valley Conference All-Star Volleyball Extravaganza, live from Perry High School, broadcast to you on CVC TV. I want to thank all of our viewers. I want to thank Haley for joining me on the broadcast. She brings so much, her knowledge of the game and her excitement she brings to it. Got a bright future ahead of you, Haley. Keep it up.
Thank you.
You do a great job here. Got to give a big shout out to our crew. Peter Tellup and LPV Productions running the broadcast. If you've watched our CVC TV football broadcast, that's all Peter and his crew. They do a fantastic job. Our viewership is off the charts lately. A lot of that has to do with it being the playoffs and just the exciting matchups that we've had. But I think our broadcast has a lot to do with it. Peter's incorporated instant replay and a lot of other things that are taking our broadcast to the next level. So just great job all around. On the cameras tonight, we had Mike Allen and Jason Young, Jacob Tellup helping out with the broadcast. I'd be remiss if I don't thank my family for coming out and, as I said, volunteering. With a capital V, they volunteered. My daughter was out there on the scoreboard and ran some of the music. Had some Perry girls running scoreboard and music earlier. Madison DeRosco with our PA announcing in the second match. Paulette Hare and Jackson Hare running rosters and facility management. Just all the way around, want to thank everybody for their efforts, all the coaches and players who made this possible. Fantastic event. We look to continue it in the future. As I said, we've got other All-Star games planned.
Yep.
Mother Nature didn't cooperate for our fall and spring other All-Star games.
Right.
The weather didn't cooperate, but moving indoors, I think we should be able to get our basketball and boys basketball and girls basketball All-Star games in. But, outstanding match here tonight, 25-19, 25-18, 25-23 to Valley Division with the clean sweep.
And I'm going to cut you off because I know you're not going to do it. Obviously, too, we want to thank you for just allowing us to have this opportunity. And speaking as a former athlete, I'm sure, this means a lot to the girls. And perhaps, too, Steve, this could be the last time that they played a volleyball game. So just all of your hard work and your dedication, and I'm sure your sleepless nights of putting this together and just being so organized. So thank you for allowing these girls to have an opportunity. And as we mentioned, soccer wasn't able to do it, but just being able to provide things like this for these athletes.
It's a lot of fun. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like you said, there were a lot of sleepless nights. we had a couple last-minute changes, things
Right.
like that. I made a mistake early in the process and sent the wrong location, so I had to correct that. I got calls the last couple weeks.
It's wonderful what you do, though. And like I said,
Thanks.
being a former athlete, it just means so much that these boys and girls have the opportunity.
Yeah, I enjoy it too, probably more so than the kids. So for me, it's just a passion game, and love doing it, love seeing the fun that the kids have
Yeah.
out here. And but none of it could happen without the athletic directors
Absolutely.
and our commissioner, Don Lewis. I tell everybody, he's a forward thinker, a visionary. He never
Yeah.
hears an idea he doesn't like. I could pitch anything to him, and I think we could make it work. So without people that are willing to take chances and do some things,
Absolutely.
none of this happens. And I think we have those people, the people that want to make it work. TJ Rockwell for hosting here at Perry, making their facilities available to us. So just a lot of thanks all the way around just to make events like this work. But obviously the crew coming out here on a Sunday, on a Browns day, and giving up all that stuff. Big shout out to everybody for that. But we're going to sign out, and our next events coming up will be CVC TV. We're going to stream some basketball games over the winter. We'll have our CVC wrestling championships and swimming championships also on CVC TV. So a lot of good things coming down the pipeline. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and check out the website tomorrow for some content from today, the
Yep.
great photos from Paul DeSico, and then just stay tuned to the website for everything else we've got coming up. From Perry High School, I'm Steve Hare, and for Haley Adams, thank you for tuning in, and have a good night.